Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Figure Friday, and as you can see we have Luke, Leia, 3PO, Darth Vader, and of course R2. R2's out of the package to begin with, as I'm being attacked by a kitten, mainly because he is not an actual Black Series figure. He is really a model. So this is where I kind of started looking for all of the 1/12 scale figures and all that, and that's where we kind of started off here. Not wanting to kind of blame the wife, but she's the one that got this for me, and of course I put it together. It was all pre-painted, so it's not like I had to paint it, but you know, it is kind of a nice little model, and it is to the 1/12 figure scale. So this is what we got to get going, and where we started from. So it is kind of fitting that as we start off with everybody here, and as we see Leia, really more of the end of the New Hope, but we have Luke Skywalker as we would initially see him, and of course Vader's being Vader, and we see 3PO being just how he normally is. And of course this is how we initially see him, because he does have the silver leg on the bottom. So let's kind of dig into this, get everything opened up here, and go from there. So starting off with 3PO, getting this all together. Now I do expect to have a little bit of a limited mobility out of 3PO, because as it was, Anthony Daniels did not have the greatest movement when he was in the costume, as we're sitting here. So let's kind of take a look at this and see what we've got, seeing that I'm using a different mount for the camera, so we'll see how well this works out here. I don't know exactly how well we have for arm movement and all that. We'll see exactly how limited, how good the movements are, but like I did say, this was originally gold, but unfortunately when they started producing it, he took a step and the whole thing broke. So one of the other droids that you saw, the other 3PO models, this was actually silver, so they were able to luck out. They did have a replacement, but it was a different color. That's the reason why that was a different color. So as we change here, and then I have a kitty cat sitting in front of me, and I can finally sit down so we can get this all here. So looking at everything, my cat's being the ultimate end boss here. You know, this kind of, we have a good movement for the head going back and forth, a little bit of up and down, and then we have our shoulders. But actually, there is a lot of limitation to the whole movement here. And I guess I expect that because we really did not get a ton of movement out of them. But I would expect a little bit of a joint, a rotating joint right here, but we do not get that. So it's very stiff in that regard. Now we do have movement, a little bit of movement, really just back and forth here. It's like he can do a little bit of the crunches, but he really can't move side to side. We have a ball joint here and a little bit of movement with the leg, but this is very limited. So actually that would make it very accurate, because like I said, Anthony Daniels, when he was in the costume, he was very limited on his movement in that, and he just kind of played it up as essentially a intergalactic butler. And he did a very good job at that. And of course on the top is actually where his sensor is for being able to hear, and he's got his vocabulary and his glowing eyes that, you know, they're nice and yellow, but I don't think they actually glow. But it is a nice looking figure. I mean, yes, the mobility of him is very limited as far as that goes, but you know, it is movie accurate in that regard. So as we kind of start this all off, nice looking figure. It does work it really good. What are you doing? I wouldn't play with those kitten. Hey, those go in my ears. She's playing with my earplugs. All right. So as far as that goes, this does work out really well. So I don't know how well they'll be standing here before she knocks them down, to Shelly Shyster here. And then we have Princess Leia, and as you can tell, I've got a little bit of dust on there, and this is all nicely packaged up. So let's try and get this opened up here, preferably without getting the kitty cat in the whiskers. All right. Kitten, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are being silly. You are being silly. She thinks it's playtime. Well, you know, we're supposed to be able to play with the action figures, but I think she wants to play with them as, like I said, the ultimate end boss. I think she wants to. Alright, so as we get layout here. And the other nice thing is she does have the medal here. So we don't have one for Luke at the moment. I think I have another Luke Skywalker where he does get the medal. And this one, okay. Let's see how this works here. Push these out of the way so it doesn't make quite as much room or noise. Okay, so we do have some nice fabric here. I got a goofy cat. Alright, so we do have some nice fabric. Of course, we have another nice medal, and I'm going to put that around her neck just for the time being so I don't lose it. She does have the nice braid going down the back, flowing dress. Does look very nice. Kind of looking at the ankles here, and of course it's their similar ball joint, so this does twist here, and the leg goes up. Looks like it is a double knee joint, so even though she's in a dress here, she has the double knee, so she can kind of stretch her leg as she's about to kick Han and getting the Falcon going, maybe trying to get ready to push it. Although I don't think she's going to do the greatest in some heels. Just trying to see if I can move the leg. I don't feel any joint that's really wanting to move this, so I'm going to guess it's very similar to 3PO, where it's just a standard joint in there. And as far as torso twisting, we don't have anything available there. So she's really kind of a little bit more stiff in those regards. So, yes, kitten. I don't know why she's... Well, I know why she's meowing, actually, but she's meowing at my feet. Alright. And then we have a single elbow here. So we do have a twist there, which is kind of nice. And it does kind of go up, as well as... I mean, it's the ball joint there. So that works out really nice. And we can move this. Now, her hand is sitting there nicely, so she could hold a blaster if you needed her to. Or put that metal onto somebody. We could do that as well. Hopefully I don't lose anything with the camera, because now I got a kitty cat playing with my camera cable. So I think I better hurry up on this. And she does have that iconic very end of the movie hairstyle done here, instead of having the buns on the side. So, you know, a little bit on the stiff side, but it's still a nice figure. What are you doing? I got Spider Cat going here, I think. And I've got a ankle that is a little off here. Not mad at the cat, I'm just trying to figure out what she's doing so she doesn't get hurt. Indeed. You silly. You silly. Oh, what we do with destructive kitties, I tell you. Alright. So, let's get Luke Skywalker out here. Oh, if I can get him off my spider. So, looking at Luke here, and this is the farmhand Luke. Not cool hand Luke, but farmhand Luke. Are you going to be ready for this there, kitten? You better watch out. He's got a lightsaber so he can try and defend himself from you, you silly. Alright. No, 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 no. You don't play with knives. You leave the knives alone. Your mother would not be happy. And I'm not going to be happy if you knock down my phone either. Alright. Here we go. Now, we have his binoculars here. And I'm going to say I think that these were considered the binocs, not the quadnocs, that we got later on in the sequel trilogy. And of course, we have his father's lightsaber in blue. Very nice and iconic. And we'll get Luke out here himself. Alright. Now the only more iconic I could get this is if I actually had the speeder itself here for him. But I don't have that. So let's kind of go through all the normal joints here. Oh boy, she is in a mood. Alright, so we have our normal ankle joint, and then this is rotating right here at the knee. So it's rotating just above the knee, and we have a single knee joint. And do we have the... There it is. Okay. And we also have a movement here. So it's only a single knee. So trying to get that all worked out here. Trying to get the ankles quite right. Oh, it's stiff. There it is. Now I kind of broke it free. So that should work out nice. Okay, and in the hips, I don't have any extra twist there, mainly because it's down here. So it's going to rotate up, lift up his tunic, so he could sit in his speeder if he had a speeder. And then we only have the single joint there in our sleeve, and of course the hand twists, and the single ball joint here. And it's only a single shoulder, not a double. No, it is a double shoulder. So looking inside there, we do have that double shoulder. So it gives us a little extra movement there. So that's kind of nice. Get him standing up here. Now, with a lot of these, if I pull on the blade comes out. And he does have a ring here. So we could have the lightsaber dangling from his belt. Alright, as well as a spot, we should have a spot for his binoculars, which should be in the back somewhere, I'm guessing, but I'm not seeing it exactly. There's like a little notch here, so I was kind of thinking I should have a spot somewhere for this to sit, but I just don't see it. So whether it's something I'm just kind of missing here, or we just don't have it, but I thought we would have a spot there for that. And of course we have all of his other, pouches and all that for all of his other stuff. Now, if you remember in A New Hope, he did have the slug thrower, the longer rifle, and he might have, one of these might be an ammo pouch for that itself, and that might be fine, but we don't have him with the slug thrower. He just has the lightsaber. So obviously, we don't have that to go with the pouches being what they are, but we do have him with his lightsaber here. So try and get his lightsaber as 3PO gets knocked down. I'm telling you, she's the ultimate end boss. I think once we get going on some games or whatever, I think I'm going to have issues with her. I think so, because I think you're going to be the end boss and you're going to just attack things on me. I think so. Yes, you. Silly. There's Luke with R2. Now we have Vader. Alright, let's get Vader. Okay. So Vader being outstandingly iconic, really I don't see a lot of extra stuff with him because he doesn't typically have a lot of extra stuff. I mean, he is just the ultimate bad guy. Very strong, very intimidating in a lot of regards. Ooh, we have a nice flowing cloak here. And we have the front. Indy, not the camera. Not the camera. People are going to get motion sickness watching this. Oops, now I'm breaking plastic. Indy. Oh. Okay. Now she's knocking everything around on me. Okay. Alright, so having Vader himself. Okay. Now he's got quite a bit of a cloak here. So we do have quite a bit of fabric. So whatever you do with him, just keep that in mind. He does have quite a bit of fabric. Now I do have the New Order, or the not New Order, the TIE Fighter that they had done. So I think he would be ultimately in there. I think that would work out really nice in that regard. But in the meantime, as we look at all of the joints and everything else, of course we get the similar ankle back and forth. Now he does have a double knee here, so he is fairly posable there. So depending on where you're trying to get him or whatever to get him fitted into, he has that available. And I can see right here he does have that twist that we're so used to. The one twist that we don't seem to have on the other figures here. So that's really kind of nice in those regards. Of course, he's got his iconic belt and chest plate here, as well as the extra armor that he's got. Now, let's take a look and see what we have for joints on here. I see a single, and yep, he only has a single shoulder here. So there's not a double shoulder, but we do have the ball joint here, so we can kind of raise it around, rotate it, all that. Let's see, single elbow and a twist at the wrist, and he does have a twist right here, so I can kind of bend that around, which is something I didn't notice on the other two. Maybe it's something I just kind of overlooked. Now looking at his belt going all the way around, I do not see a spot. There it is. I was wrong. So we can take the lightsaber and we can actually hang it, and his actual hanging is more towards the top. I'll leave the blade on here, but it's actually more towards the top here, as my kitty's just kind of there. So we do have that available, so it is kind of nice that we can still hang that on there if that's what you want to do, as he's kind of sitting there maybe being very imposing towards other characters in any setup that you have. So we do have that available, and his helmet is very nicely on there. Not a lot of movement on there, but we do have that. So, but that's the four we have here today. Very nice, very iconic, and I think I have the cape and that underneath there. Let's try and get them all standing here. Hopefully I can do that. Oops, something I didn't think of. Okay, so we do have the holes here, so we could, if we have stands, which I do have stands floating around here somewhere, we can actually get them standing on there. So we do have Leia here twisting. I don't know if I had done that. I don't think I'm going to get them all up here. I think I have a terror that's just knocking everything around. So, all right, we'll end it with that. My terror just destroying everything on me. With that being said, thank you so very much for joining me. Hope you're having a wonderful day. It's always wonderful having you here, and I will see you in the next video. And so will Indy. Hopefully she won't be a terror, though.